Two fun facts about me. Yes, I have herpes. And yes, I'm fucking hot.
I'm at the drive-thru at Starbucks, and y'all, I just ordered basically the entire menu, 3 different drinks, because I couldn't decide what I wanted to drink. I'm obnoxious. This is why I'm single. No one's gonna put up with my ridiculous ass.
Guys, don't fall for this stuff that women put on social media, okay? They'll come along and go, oh, I'm single because of this, I'm single because of that. When truth be told, it's just because of their own standards. Okay, she's still holding out for that dude who's 6 foot, who earns 6 figures, all that kind of crap. There'd be plenty of dudes out there who are willing to date a woman like this. Okay, and what's happening, guys, is you can't see it, but off to the side of the screen here, there's a bunch of dudes in the comments going, oh, I'd be your boyfriend, I'd be your boyfriend. You see, women know why they're single, guys. Right? They're single because they're out here chasing dudes who they have no business chasing. Those dudes that'll never commit to them, that'll never give them a relationship, and what ends up happening is they'll rock around 35, 40, 45, and they'll turn back to those same men that they rejected, and they'll go, oh, okay, well, now I need a life insurance policy. So how about you come along and we get married within 6 months or a year and we have a couple of kids and then I divorce you and take half your crap. You see, gentlemen, when girls make videos like this online, they know what they're doing. Okay, they're just out here trying to get attention from men who will come along and say, you know what, I'd be there for you. You see, women like this would have no problem getting in a relationship, but their standards are too high because they're still holding out for that guy that they got in their 20s, okay? But what is going on, gentlemen? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're looking through some of the TikToks that you gentlemen have sent into the show, as well as a few Reddit stories if we have time. And before we crack into it, guys, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure that you subscribe on your way in. And as always, if you're interested in supporting the channel, make sure you check out the locals link in the description. The first month over there is totally free with code Fiendish on me, guys. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, make sure you check that out. But guys, let's just break down this video clip before we continue into today's TikToks. So let's see what she had to say.
I'm at the drive-thru at Starbucks, and y'all, I just ordered basically the entire menu, 3 different drinks, because I couldn't decide what I wanted to drink.
And you know, ironically enough, it's funny because it's the same thing with men. Right? It's the fact that girls like this, and what I mean by that is these girls can't even decide on the man that they want. Right? One moment they want a guy who looks like this and who earns this amount of money, and then another minute they want this guy who does this and has this profession, or they want this guy who's soft, or this guy who's dominant. It's like, guys, these girls don't even know what the hell they want in a man, and we got dudes out here stressing over their relationship status. Oh, why can't I find a girlfriend? It's like, gentlemen, these girls don't even know what the hell they want half the time. Right? And it's not even just food. Like, have you, this is like a constant meme that you see everywhere, right? Where couples will be discussing, oh, what are we going to get? Where do we want to go eat? The girls never have any clue where they want to eat, man. That's why it's up to you as a, like, if you're in a relationship and stuff like this, just decide, guys. Like, these women can never make up their minds. Just decide. Like, you'll waste so much of your time trying to get an answer out of these girls who have no idea what the hell they want anyway.
I'm obnoxious. This is why I'm single. No one's gonna put up with my ridiculous ass.
And the really funny part about that, that's the end of the clip right there, guys, before we continue onwards. The funny part is, like I say on this show all the time, how when you get girls gifts, when you get them flowers, when you know, take them to expensive dinners and stuff like that, they know they aren't deserving of it. Right? It's not as if they're out here doing anything for society, doing anything productive. Okay, a lot of these girls, man, truth be told, all the effort that men are putting into them, they know that they're not deserving of it. Like, they truly do, guys. This is why when you see women out here saying, oh, I need this and that, I need this and that, it's like when dudes give them stuff, they never respect the dudes. Right? When women get stuff paid for them or they have all these things happen for them and dudes will go out of their way to do all this stuff, it's not as if they can appreciate it. Right? Because half of it is like, she knows that she isn't worth the effort. She knows that she isn't worth the time, man. A lot of these girls, they know that they're a pain in the neck to deal with. And they'll actively, guys, this is for my dudes who are in relationships and long-term marriages and stuff like that. A lot of these girls, tell me if I'm wrong, okay? will go out of their way to be a pain in the neck just because. Like, if they get bored or if things are going too smoothly, I mean, they'll go out of their way just to make things happen, just so drama is in their lives, man. I'm telling you, women who don't have drama in their life, they'll find a way to make some. Right, this is why dudes who in marriages and stuff like that, everything will be going smoothly, and then she'll come along and start an argument over literally nothing, and you'll be scratching your head thinking, why did this argument start? It had no reason to start, and you're right, guys, it did have no reason to start. But let's continue on to the next video.
So hypothetically speaking, do you think if I sat in my front yard with a sign that said, "Do you want to date me?" that could work?
And again, gentlemen, don't fall for this stuff. Okay, women can have relationships if they want. They can have bedroom fun if they want. It's not as if there is a lack of dudes out here. The issue is they don't want to drop their standards. A lot of these women, gentlemen, truth be told, would rather be, are going to end up alone because they refuse to lower their standards. And that's totally okay. You want to get to 30, 40, 50 and live alone with your cats, that's totally fine. But a lot of these women, guys, they become very bitter by the time they get to that age, and they think, oh, men have wronged me, and a real man would have committed to me, and why can't I find a relationship? It's all a man's fault. No, it's actually your fault. Like, let's listen to that one more time, guys. Like, and this is the fact that this is just posted to TikTok and it has like a couple thousand likes on it just blows my mind. Okay.
So hypothetically speaking, do you think if I sat in my front yard with a sign that said, "Do you want to date me?" that could work?
And you see, what happens, right, is when girls post a video like this, you'll get a lot of guys out there who aren't aware of this sort of stuff, who don't watch videos like this, right? Who will go, oh, well, I'd be that guy for her. I'd be happy to be her boyfriend, or, why is she single? Okay, and the thing is, like, these girls know why they're single, man. They're out here, what they're doing is they're curving all of the dudes, they're ignoring all of the guys who have genuine interest in them, and they're out here chasing the dudes who have all the options. And they're going to get to the end of the line, right? And they're going to go, oh, I want to have kids and it's too late. I want to get married, but nobody wants to get married to me. And thank goodness, right? Because let's not even get into the topic of marriage on this video, guys, because we all know how that goes for men.
Scare him away. Because if he was texting you when we hanging, he didn't like you that much to begin.
If I could tell 24 to 28-year-old me one thing, it would be this. Guys aren't stupid. They just want to see if they can get away with it. But we teach people how we want to be treated. And if you respond, you're signifying that you accept this style of communication. No shame if you've done it. I did it for 4 to 8 years of my life. Just don't do it anymore.
Don't be afraid that you're going to scare him away.
Apologies for the eardrums there, gentlemen. And here's the thing. This woman at the end of the video, right, she just said how she spent 48 years of her life doing exactly that. Right? Chasing the dudes who aren't interested in her, going through the relationships where she doesn't even get a relationship out of it, right? And going, okay, well, now's the time for me to pursue a real relationship. I mean, let's listen to the last of that back, okay?
Accept this style of communication. No shame if you've done it. I did it for 4 to 8 years of my life. Just don't do it anymore.
Yeah, just go along, right, and find a dude who will accept you after you wasted all of your years on these other dudes. Right, and here's the thing about that, guys, is like, if you're a woman, right, and you've had relationships with, let's just really lowball it here, okay? I mean, really lowball it. You've seen 21 dudes in your life, and that's really being generous, okay? Let's just say you're a woman and you got to that age, and let's just say you got to 30 and you've been with 21 dudes in your life, and you want to go out there and you want to get married at the end of it and you want to have kids and all that. The odds of man number 22 going to be your forever after is so unlikely, man. You get all these dudes out here thinking that, okay, I'm going to get into a relationship with a girl, and so what, she's had 35 partners before me. You know what? I'm going to be lucky number 36 and our relationship is going to work out. No. Girls who go through this many men, gentlemen, it's not the man's fault, right? It truly isn't. It's just that they can never be happy, right? Once they go through that many dudes, guys, they're always going to be looking out for the bigger and better deal, going, oh, well, maybe John over here has something, or maybe Tim over here has something. You're not going to be like boyfriend number 22 who comes in and fixes all of her problems. Because truth be told, gentlemen, let me tell you something. These girls who will get on social media and they'll complain about their problems of being single and all that kind of stuff, okay? You, as a man, if you come in and you try and fix their problems, a lot of these girls don't even want their problems fixed. They will find a way to create their own problems, man. I'm telling you. Girls like this, they'll complain about, oh, how come, this job opportunity sucked, or, I couldn't pay this bill, or I couldn't do that, or I need help with this. And I see all these dudes out here going out of their way to try and help these women with their life problems, and all that it does is make more problems, guys. It really is. It's kind of like, that mythical creature, right? The Hydra, where you cut off one head and more heads just continue to grow in its place. These women are, a lot of them, gentlemen, not all of them, but a lot of them are addicted to the negativity in their life, particularly people like the single mothers, the girls who are perpetually single, right? Is they're always going to be on the lookout for that next best thing. They're always going to be looking out for that next problem. These girls are straight up addicted to negativity a lot of times. And I'm not saying this girl in particular, right? We've got far too little information to work off of, so but just in general, a lot of these women, man, they're straight up addicted to negativity. And you as a guy, you're not going to come in their life and be able to solve these problems for them, because a lot of times they'll just make more problems on their own, to be quite honest. But let's jump into today's last video before we have a look at some of the Reddit stories, guys. And again, I want to say thank you for submitting these into the show. So let's see what this woman here has to say.
You know what you're not going to do today?
Whoa.
You're not going to let a stupid boy make you feel less of a freaking woman. Because you're hot and you're successful and you're going to accomplish so much more than you think he ever will in his life. He's insecure and he doesn't want to live up to the expectations that you have set for yourself. Girl boss too close to the sun. Do it. Do it. You know what you're not.
And you gotta love, right, how dudes are insecure when they don't want to quote-unquote live up to your standards. In other words, if a dude doesn't do what you want, if he doesn't commit to you, if he doesn't give you things, if he doesn't do what you want in the moment, then that makes him less of a man, it makes him insecure, right? It makes him all of these negative words that you use to attack his masculinity if a guy doesn't want to commit to you. I have no sympathy, guys, for these girls who go out here and they complain about the fact that they can't find a man to date. I really don't. Because what they're doing is, in the process of chasing the dudes who won't commit to them, they're actually, dismissing all of the guys who would be interested in having a relationship with them. And the reason why they do that is because they think that they're deserving of more, right? Oh, I got this guy who is a med, he's a studying med student. He's about to be a successful doctor, and he's 6 foot, and he's about to go into, six-figure salary. And I got him for 20 minutes on a Wednesday as a 20-year-old girl. So surely what that means is I can easily get a doctor, right? Or I can get a guy who does this, or I can get a guy who does that. And a lot of these girls, man, they're going to find out the hard way when they get older and they end up alone. And the thing is, these girls who go through that process, we know what happens at the end, right? Is they all get bitter at men and they all think it's men's fault, and oh, well, I'm like this because a man won't commit to me. And at the same time, there have been plenty of men who would be willing to commit to these girls all along the way. And here's the real end result, guys, and this is something that we're seeing a lot more and more of, is these women who get to the end of the road, even the guys who they dismissed are starting to go, you know what? I'm not so interested in this anymore. Right? You didn't want me back when I had no money, and when I was a kid, and all this kind of, like, when I was a young dude, when I was a young man, you had no interest in me. Maybe you were a shorter guy, maybe you were a thinner guy, but maybe you've hit the gym, you've earned your money and stuff like that. And these women come crawling around and they go, "Hey, stranger." Right? I wonder how many of you guys in the comments, let me know if you've had this experience, right? Where a girl who ignored you in the past, she starts to see you doing well, maybe you got a bit more money, maybe you hit the gym, you're looking better, you're feeling better, and these girls will hit you up with the hey text and be like, "Hey, how you doing, stranger?" and crap like that, because they've wasted, all of their years being a boss babe. I mean, let's give this a listen one more time before we jump into the Reddit stories.
You know what you're not going to do today? You're not going to let a stupid boy make you feel less of a freaking woman. Because you're hot and you're successful and you're going to accomplish so much more than you think he ever will in his life. He's insecure and he doesn't want to live up to the expectations that you have set for yourself.
Yeah, you see, a guy's insecure if he doesn't do what you want. That's the translation there. I'm going to attack a guy's masculinity if he doesn't do whatever I want him to do, whether that be commit or any number of other things, excuse me, right? I mean, that's just the go-to. gentlemen. It really is the go-to when they've got nothing to say, right? And the thing is, right, is men don't have to commit to you, right? I see all these women trying to shame men into relationships. I just think that's one of the craziest things, right? Where rather than compromise or these girls ask themselves, what can I bring to the table? What can I do for the relationships? No, the solution is to try and shame men into relationships rather than being a better partner. Like that just blows my mind, guys. It's like rather than trying to resolve what I can, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna trying to shame someone. I'm gonna try and shame men into dealing with my BS. Like that just blows my mind, guys.
Girl boss too close to the sun. Do it. Do it.
And like I said, guys, these girls, hey, you can go out there, you can go, boss, you can waste your time, you can screw around, getting no relationships, getting nowhere. Because the thing is, men have the last laugh with this, right? While these girls are screwing around in their 20s, man, and they're going, oh, yeah, I'm just going to live my best life, partying it up, right? A lot of them think they're going to be successful music artists or they're going to be the next big thing while they're working at Starbucks, okay? The funny part about this is, like, these girls, what happens is they get to 30, 40, and 50, they figure out, oh, I have no savings, I have no husband, I have no relationship, right? I'm in student debt, and now I need a man to come along and pick up the pieces. And a lot of men are getting to the point in society where we see the game, right? Guys like this watching videos. I mean, gentlemen, videos like this, the amount of views that this channel has, guys, like I just get on here and I just kind of rant my thoughts about this stuff. Let me be totally honest. This channel has way too many views on it. I mean, way too many views. Men are really starting to wake up and go, oh, I see what's happening. Right? You know that things are getting a bit out of hand when an animated character on a YouTube video talks about this and it gets a ridiculous amount of views because men have had quite frankly enough, right? And men are starting to talk to each other and go, "Oh, I see what's happening. I see what's going on here." And I'm just going to wrap this up with, just kind of hammer that thought home, okay? Before we get into the Reddit stories. Girls like this, they will waste their time, right? They will waste their time in their 20s trying to get relationships that they can't get. They'll rock around to 30, 40, and 50. They'll have their student debt. They'll have no savings. They'll have been working at Starbucks all this time, working on their little music career in the background. And then what they'll do is go, oh, I'm screwed. I need a man to come along and pick up the pieces. And the alternative to that, okay, is, sometimes they'll strike out there and they'll become doctors, they'll become lawyers and stuff like that. And you know what they realize? The road is real damn lonely. A lot of these girls, man, they don't want to be working that 9 to 5 plus in some high corporate position because they realize it's lonely. They don't want to work for the rest of their life, and now they need a man to come and solve it for them. It really is quite funny, guys, because we see it time and time again. But gentlemen, we're going to be jumping into today's Reddit stories, which again, thank you guys for submitting these into the channel. So let's see what this first one is. What a great segue. So this one, a recent one, is titled, He, a 35-year-old male, likes me who is 28 in every way except physically. Interesting. It's 5 a.m. and I'm completely crushed. There's a guy sleeping on my couch who I've had a crush on since June. I've never liked anyone this much. We've seen each other 3 to 5 times a week, danced, hung out, texted all the time, and for the last few weekends he slept at my place. First out of necessity and then for fun. We cuddle, sleep tightly intertwined, hold hands in public, so for a while now I have been expecting things to go to the next level. And this is the thing, right? Girls will be so quick to go out, they'll have the bedroom fun and stuff like that, and then they go, oh, wait a minute, where's my relationship? Right? I thought this was a relationship. I thought you were my boyfriend. And they figure out that they can't get the relationship and they'll do this over and over again. However, confusion and frustration got the better of me. As he was lying in my bed and I was lying in his arms for the third Saturday in a row, I asked him what we're doing here. He said we are good friends who are physically weirdly close. Once I started digging a little more, he said that he liked me a lot and we get on extremely well, so he'd like to keep spending time as intensely and physically as we have been, but just as friends. He is not physically or S-word attracted to me and not looking for a relationship. I am so fundamentally confused. I may not feel pretty or beautiful, but I do feel attractive. I don't understand how he has been so close to me and doesn't want it. And beyond that, I'm just physically and mentally crushed. I shivered for an hour and now I'm feeling nauseous and heartbroken. He's just having casual fun with another girl. I never wanted it with him, but the only logical next step for our intense and physically affectionate friendship seemed like a relationship. Unfortunately, we work together, we live on the same block, and have the same intense hobby, which I would like to keep doing with him. So I can't simply cut him out of my life. Any advice? Guys, basically what's happened here is this woman, she's having the physical fun, but she can't seem to get a relationship. And this is the story of many modern women, guys. When they go out there, and they think that, oh, I have a relationship now. This is one of the things that I'll say on the channel, guys, where if you're a man and you're out there dating, and I've made this point many times before, let women bring up this conversation, right? They'll start asking questions like this, right? They'll go, okay, well, are things going to go to the next level? So basically, she'll go, what are we? And they'll start asking prodding questions about, where do you see this going, or whatever the case may be. And the thing is, guys, is that girls will waste a lot of their life doing stuff like this, right? Where they'll go from guy to guy and they'll go, okay, well, why can't things progress to the next step? And after a bunch of these experiences, they start to go, oh, you know what? It's the man's fault that he doesn't want to commit to me, right? And they'll do this over and over again until basically they either wind up alone or they quote unquote settle is the word that they use to describe it. But gentlemen, let's continue on to today's next Reddit story. And this is something else. This subreddit in its entirety is something else. Okay. The title of this article reads, "What if I am roster dating and a man asks me to be exclusive before I'm comfortable cutting off all of my other options, but I also like him? Hello ladies, I have a question. So we all agree on roster dating and not being exclusive with a man until we have thoroughly vetted him, although of course the vetting process never truly ends. What if we are roster dating and still want to keep our options open, but one of the men we are seeing wants to be exclusive, and I just don't feel ready to fully commit to him yet and cut off all of my other options, and I don't want to lose him either since I am potentially interested. I know this comes off as wanting to have my cake and eat it too. Yes, it does. But I'm talking about just not being convinced to let him take me off the market yet, not intentionally misleading people on or wasting their time when I know that I'm not interested. For example, maybe I want to vet him for 3 months, but he has asked me after 1 month to be his girlfriend. And of course, by roster dating, I'm not doing anything bedroom fun orientated with this man since I'm not exclusive yet with any of them. What are your thoughts? How should we go about this? Roster dating can get tricky in reality. Gentlemen, I've told you this before, okay, where women will literally see multiple men at the same time. They'll have multiple dudes going on at the same time. And basically what they're doing is they're fishing for a relationship from the majority of them. Right? So what they're doing is they're going out there, they're having bedroom fun with the dudes that they're attracted to, and they're kind of hoping for a relationship from one of those dudes. And it's just such a joke, guys. Like the fact that women are out here. And let me just read this last part right here, okay? Of course, by roster dating, I'm not doing anything bedroom fun orientated with any men since I'm not exclusive yet with any of them. Guys, can I get a raise of hands in the comments? Who in the hell believes that? Right? It's these girls want to play it off as if they're angels, man. Here's the thing, okay? Maybe for a few of them she is doing that and she's kind of holding off the bedroom fun to get relationships and stuff like that. But a lot of dudes realize that, you know what? If the girl is holding out the bedroom fun, then it's time to go on to the next one. Okay, because a lot of girls, truth be told, gentlemen, will just be out here wasting men's time and expecting to be able to get a relationship at the end of it. Right? We've literally got dudes in marriages and stuff like that, long-term relationships where the girl's going, just not doing that, right? Just not having the bedroom fun and stuff like that. And dudes are literally out here still in the relationship, slaving over it, paying all the bills and stuff like that. It's like, guys, when women do this stuff, what they're essentially doing is they're trying to leverage their body to get compliance out of the man. That's all that they're doing. And there's a very interesting word for that, but let's continue on to today's next Reddit story. This is an interesting one as well. Same subreddit, mind you. This is titled, "If you're struggling with blocking and deleting, try these ideas," and it comes under the tag of strategy. When I was starting this, I was still a big pick-me and had a really hard time enacting the block and delete strategy. Here are some strategies especially for the early stages. Put a photo of a clown as his contact picture or a clown emoji next to his contact name. It helped make it a lot easier for me not to crush on him or romanticize him, so when he started acting lousy, it was even easier to detach. If you are struggling to not text him / wanting to write a paragraph, take a step away. Instead, go journal. Write down your thoughts and feelings into that journal. Or if you have a therapist, bring it up to them and how you are struggling not to send paragraphs. If you have a close friend or family member, it's okay to vent to them occasionally. Don't make a habit of it, but it is okay to vent here and there. Just to make sure that this person is not a pick-me that will tell you to quote unquote communicate. Guys, I wonder, like, when I read stuff like this, I just got in my head the idea. Just then I thought about it, right? Where, like, I wonder how many of these therapists, their entire job with their female clientele basically is just them listening to these women complain about their boy problems. I wonder what percentage of that is, right? Because it must be a huge percentage of therapists where their entire workload is just listening to girls complain about the exact same thing about how men won't commit to them. I find that to be totally hilarious. I truly do, because as a therapist, surely at a certain time you've got to realize, like, all of these problems that these girls are having is essentially the exact same thing. Oh, I can't get him to commit, or oh, why won't he look at this picture of me? How come he hasn't opened my Instagram story? All of this BS, man. I just, like, that must drive these therapists insane. But let's continue onwards. Turn your phone on. Think about if your best friend or close family member came to you and said they were in your shoes and their potential significant other said or did the same things. Would you be okay with them being treated that way? So why allow yourself to accept the same treatment? Get distracted in a healthy way by working out. Catch up on chores, get some errands done, catch up with a family member or a friend, or meditate and pray. Often, by the time you are done, you will feel more level headed and it'll be easier to delete and block. Remind yourself that sending a paragraph will only hurt you. There's countless examples here that he will use it against you, might even mock you, belittle you, gaslight you, or use it as an attempt to get you back and use it as ammo to hurt you later on. By deleting and blocking, you get to have the last word of silence, and that speaks more than what any text could. Don't explain it to him. Think of the sisterhood, and by how explaining things to him, it just makes him. By explaining things to him, it just makes him even slimier to try and hurt other women that will come along in his life. The best thing to do is block and delete him ASAP with his number and info gone. Then you can't be tempted to reach back out. I find it interesting, right, that women will literally spend a great deal of time writing posts like this, talking about how, oh, I just need to resist the urge to go and text him. Right, that guy who cheated on me, that guy who didn't want a relationship, I need to put a significant amount of effort into not texting him. You see, those guys who are nice to girls and do all these gifts and do all these fantastic things for them, she's not trying to resist texting you, right? But those cheaters, those guys who treat her like crap, who have the options with the girls, it's so funny to see them literally have to write entire posts convincing themselves that, oh, I need to block and delete him. And the funny part is, guys, they never will. Okay, they're always going to leave like a line open to that guy. Like, trust me, gentlemen, those girls who complain about, oh, this guy cheated on me and I'm going to block him and I'm not going to talk to him, they always leave a line of communication open. It's like an addiction, gentlemen. It really is. But let's continue on to today's last Reddit story before we wrap up today's episode. This one is titled, My 22-year-old girlfriend who is 19 crossed the line and I don't know what to do. We've been together for 6 months. We have a good relationship. She's loving, caring, super smart, everything I could ask for. The problem is that lately she's been invalidating my emotions or feelings, and it's a weird thing because she's been through emotionally A-worded relationships, hence she should be the first to know that invalidating someone's feelings is horrible. Well, yesterday I wanted to have a conversation about how it makes me feel when she acts hostile towards me for no reason, or when she calls me sensitive and a victim for communicating my feelings. She then entered the, okay, tell me what bothers you and be quick because I don't have time to argue with you, I'm too lazy to text right now mood. Then I told her, once again, that I only want her to stop invalidating how I feel, and if she could actually listen to what I'm saying, she kept what I'm saying, full stop. She kept telling me that she wasn't invalidating my feelings, but she thinks I'm just overly sensitive and should stop taking her rude comments like insults. Here's the thing, guys, before we continue onwards, okay? Girls will say, I've said this many, many times on the channel, guys, they'll tell you that, oh, I want a guy who's emotionally open, right? I want a guy who shows me where he stands and show me that he cares about me. And this is the result that you get from that. This truly is the result, guys. Because here's the thing: these girls will go through relationships or situationships, right, where they can't get commitment from a guy, or maybe they do, and she walks out of that emotionally bruised, shall we say? That doesn't mean that she cares about men's feelings, right? These girls, they really don't, gentlemen. Women will say that they care about a man's feelings, but the truth is they don't, and a dude who's emotional repulses them. Right, so this is another example of what women say is one thing and what they'll do is an entirely different thing altogether. I mean, guys, just to really hammer it home here, and I don't mean to be rude when I say this, I don't mean to be pessimistic. I'm just trying to make the point that girls really don't care how you feel, guys. They truly don't, and they never will. And that's okay. Like, I personally couldn't give a crap, guys. It's just like a lot of men don't seem to understand that because they actually believe what these women tell them. Right? Don't be believing what these people tell you, man. They have no idea. Fast forward, flashback, excuse me, to the start of the video. They don't even know what the hell they're going to eat, guys. You know what I'm saying? So, like, why would you take their opinion very seriously? But let's continue onwards. And this is when she did something I'd never have expected. While she was talking, I could clearly see that she was just not interested in solving anything. So I said, "You don't really care about this, do you?" And her response was, "I actually don't give an F about it." And then she laughed. I hung up the telephone and went to sleep because I was very shocked how she can act like that. What the hell? She then started texting that she loves me and doesn't know why she said that. I haven't texted her yet. How should I handle this situation? Too long didn't read. Girlfriend said that she doesn't give an F about my emotions and feelings. And before we wrap it up, guys, I just want to show you this part right here how he hung up the telephone and went to sleep. So then she started texting about how she loves him. I mean, that is some terrible behavior, but I just want you to notice, like, right, how he walked away from the situation, so she reaches out. And this is one of those times where we talk about where oftentimes your power as a man, it doesn't come from getting emotional or getting upset or anything like that. A lot of times your power in relationships just comes away, just comes from walking away from this kind of BS. Edit, hello, I've been reading your comments and you guys are right. She also suffered the emotional A word from her parents when she was young, and her mother still screws with her head. Also, she is very emotionally unstable and very negative and suffers from anxiety. She now texted me that she didn't mean what she said, that she was just joking because she didn't see the situation as something important. From her perspective, it's just me complaining about stupid stuff. She's coming to my house to talk tonight. All I can say to that, guys, is just absolutely run. I mean, a lot of these girls, man, truth be told, they'll give you all the red flags up in front. Like, up front, excuse me. They'll give you the red flags and all the reasons why you shouldn't date them and take them seriously and stuff like that. And gentlemen, if you're a dude who's out there dating, right, and this goes for the dudes who aren't as well, it's just like, your sanity is the most important thing rather than dealing with situations like this or oh how did she feel or why did she say this, why did she say that. A lot of dudes, particularly as men get older, they start to realize that situations like this don't really have a lot of value over my own sanity. Okay, but guys, we're going to be calling today's episode there. As always, make sure you leave your thoughts and comments below. It's always interesting to see what you guys have to say. If you disagree with if you disagree with anything I've said on the show, guys, feel free to do so. That is what the comments box is for. Plenty of room to do so. And as always, guys, if you are interested in supporting the channel, make sure you check out the locals link in the description. The first month over there is totally free on me with code Fiendish, guys. So make sure you check that out if you're interested in supporting. But otherwise, guys, I think we'll be leaving it there. So, gentlemen, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will be seeing you boys in the next episode. Peace.